Hi gang, Rob here. It is late in the evening of 9 June 2013. Got a little short video for you tonight. And this one is sort of a sharpening tip. I've been talking with a couple other YouTubers in the last couple weeks and expressing some dissatisfaction over what seems to be kind of a poor design trend in production knife making these days. And it is what's being done on lots of knives at the plunge grind area. I've got my normally modified Cold Steel Recon 1 with me tonight because I just finished doing this latest modification, and you're looking at it. What we have on a lot of these production knives is a very large plunge grind radius. I'm trying to get the light to reflect. I'm talking about this area of the knife, in this case where the grinding wheel for the hollow grind plunges into the blade to make that main grind radius. What you're left with when you have such a large plunge radius is a portion of the blade. Well, let me grab a pointer. We'll use this Kershaw Oh So Sweet tonight that needs work. What you normally see is a rather long run of unsharpened blade in this area. It leaves an unsightly hump. It makes your edge grind look funky, and it causes problems for resharpening because as your stone rides up that radius, it digs in this portion of the blade, this portion through here, wherever the other side of your stone is, causing a concavity or a recurve, and you can never really make a very pretty edge. So this is what sharpening choils are designed to remedy. This knife, the Recon 1, if you look at pictures of it, it has sort of a sharpening notch, but it isn't nearly big enough, excuse me, not nearly big enough to extend past that plunge radius. So, like, why put that operation in? Well, we fixed it. And if you notice, I've got a sharpening choil, a new one, and what you end up with is the ability, I'm going to try to get this to focus really close in, is the ability to sharpen the edge all the way to the back, and the bevel stays very consistent and it cleans up nicely, and you end up with a really sharp edge all the way to the back. How did I do that? Well, that's a lot of steel that had to get removed. It would be very time consuming if you used like a bench stone or a round file, diamond file or something. I was at the hardware store today and I came across these little guys. This is a Dremel product, fits my Dremel tool. These are 7/32 chainsaw sharpening attachments for the Dremel. By the way, they're not extremely round, as you can see. Looks like one spot is doing all the work. However, that probably helps them stay cool. You do kind of have to watch your temperature because the Dremel does spin at 35,000 RPM. So you have to take kind of small bites. But doesn't that look cool? And it sure is so much more functional, especially when resharpening, than the way this blade comes from the factory. I'm going to make another video looking at the other knife I did within the next day or so, and I will explain to you the potential pitfalls of such an operation if you're doing it on a knife well, that uses that bottom of the blade surface. Yeah, I kind of screwed one up, and I'm going to have to beg for mercy from a knife maker. I'll share that with you in the next day or so. So the way this operation works, I don't know if I can really show it to you, but well, I can't really get the camera to help me here. What you're doing is what I do is restrain the Dremel, and then I come in holding the knife, and I just use this Dremel tool to make the contour of that notch where I want it. This is not the position of fixturing I use. You can either put the Dremel in a vise or do what I do. I sit in a chair and put it between my knees and sort of use the body of the tool to help me guide the knife. I've only done two, and I've screwed one up, so I'll let you know as my technique develops. I'll give you some tips on how to make this work for you. Not all knives are going to have a design where you need as big a radius as this, but for instance, what knives I would have used it on if I'd had it, my Kershaw Knockout and my ZTO 550. I did a lot of handwork on both those knives. I could have knocked out in about 2 minutes if I had this tool. They both required sort of a large-ish radius. In fact, they had similar operations already performed, like the Recon 1 did, that just needed to be enlarged. Feel free to weigh in the comments, guys, if you've got a technique that works that might be easier or more repeatable than this one. I just thought I would share this with you. Maybe some of you would like to put it to use. That's all I've got for this evening, guys. I will have a full review of this bad boy coming up soon as well. I think for now, though, I'm going to head off to bed. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Grace and peace. And remember, the word is sharp. Night, guys.